Writers don't always tell you everything directly. They leave clues, and your job is to become a literary detective. The main tool you'll use is called inferencing. Think of it like a bridge. On one side, you have text evidence, the actual words on the page. On the other side is your background knowledge, everything you already know about people and the world. When you connect them, you cross the bridge to find the hidden meaning. For example, if a text says, "Sarah slammed the door and her face was red," what's the evidence? A slammed door, a red face. What's your background knowledge? People do those things when they are angry. Your inference, Sarah is angry. The author didn't have to write it. You figured it out. This detective work gets more interesting with subtext. Subtext is the meaning hidden beneath the surface of dialogue and actions. If someone arrives late and you say, "Oh, look who finally decided to join us," while pointedly checking your watch, you aren't actually welcoming them. The subtext is pure annoyance. Your words say one thing, but your actions reveal the truth. Even a character's smallest actions are clues to their motive. If a story's villain stops to feed a stray kitten, we can infer they have a hidden spark of kindness. It complicates their character. And don't forget the setting. A room where the dust sat an inch thick on the piano isn't just a dusty room. It's a clue. It suggests neglect, abandonment, a place forgotten by time. One clue might be a mistake, but remember the detective tip. 3 clues are a message. Look for patterns in what people say, what they do, and where they are. This is why great stories show instead of tell. They don't say a character is nervous, they show him tapping his foot, avoiding eye contact, and wringing his hands. The writer gives you the evidence, but you solve the case. Good readers are always revising their theories as new clues appear, always digging for the truth hidden in plain sight.